Good day everyone, especially to you ma'am. I will discuss to you the from chapter 1 to chapter 4. Security security in general. If you say security, it means it is defined as the state or quality of being secured. And it will be necessity of security. Security measure are inevitable or necessary for the attainment of the goals and objectives of security management. The role of the Philippine National Police. The role of Philippine National Police, it takes responsibilities in the supervision, control, and operations of security agencies, in the assurance of license to operate, in the license to practice the security profession. Letter D, hazards. If you say hazards, hazards refer to conditions that may cause damage to property, injuries, and loss of life. Yun ang ibig sabihin ng hazards. Proceed po tayo sa RA 5487, Republic Act 5487. Means it is considering the significance of providing security to industries. The Philippine legislative body enact this act governing the organization and management of private security agency, companies, guards, forces, and government security forces. Yun ang ibig sabihin ng RA Republic Act 5487. Types of security. Let's proceed to the types of security. There are three types of security. Number 1, physical security. If you say physical security, it is the broadest branch of security which is concerned with the physical measures adopted to prevent and to access to equipment, facilities, materials, and disseminates and to safeguard against expanded sabotage, damage, and health. Number 2, communication security. If you say communication security, it is a prevent to delay the enemy in gaining information through the communication system. Includes letter A, transmission security, letter B, cryptographic security, and C, physical security. Number 4, bank security. Bank security means a physical security protecting all transactions of the bank. Yun ang ibig sabihin ng bank security. Number 5 is document security. A physical security that protect documents and classified papers from lost access by unauthorized persons. Yun ang ibig sabihin ng document security. Number 6, personal security. Ang ibig sabihin ng personal security ay it protects personal, especially working officials. Number 7, crisis security. Crisis security means a part of VIP security involved in hostage and kidnapping of VIPs. Number 8, industrial security. Industrial security means it is a type of security applied to business groups. Then number 9, Operational security. Operational security means deals primarily with the protection of processes and formula. Number 10. Other special types of security. There are 4 other types of security, and this is our number 1, air cargo security. Number 2, school security. Number 3, supermarket. Number 4, personnel. Major divisions of industrial security. There are 3 major divisions of industrial security. The first major divisions of industrial security is physical security. Number 2, personnel security. Number 3, document and information security. Key control. If you say key control, it is the management of keys in what to organization to prevent unauthorized individual access to the keys. Yun po ang ibig sabihin ng key control. Types of keys. There are 4 types of keys. Then the key number 1 is the change key. The number 2, master key. Submaster key number 2. Number 3, master key. And number 4 is grand master key. The master keying system. The master keying system is a system used by establishing whereby keys open groups or groups of lock. Some considerations in master keying system. Number 1, keying. Number 2, submaster keying. Number 3, master keying. Other protective containers. There are 3 other protective containers. Number 1, safe. If you say safe, a metallic container used for the safekeeping of documents or small items in an office or installation. Number 2, vault. Heavy, constructed, and water resistance container, usually a part of building structure, used to keep and protect cash. Yun po ang ibig sabihin ng vault. Number 3, file room. A cubicle, a branch in a building constructed a little lighter vault, a bigger size. Lesson 3.1, Security Guard Forces. The security guard forces means a group of force selected men for the purpose of protecting operational processes. The security guard forces. Number 1, private security agency, PSI. Number 2, the security guard forces. There are 3 security guard forces. Number 1, private security agency or PSA. Number 2, company security force or CSF. Number 3, government security unit or GSU. The Philippine Association of Detective and Protective Agency Operations Incorporation or PADPAO. PADPAO means this is the National Association of all licensed security agencies and company security forces. Yun po ang ibig sabihin ng PADPAO agency. License to Operate or LTO. It is the document issued by the PNP or his duty authorized representative authority a person to engage in the occupation. Let's proceed to the operation and management. Any Filipino citizen or corporation, association, partnership is 100% and controlled by the Philippine citizens can maintain a PSA and PDA. Basic requirement of an operator or manager of agency. Number 1, you must a Filipino citizen. Number 2, at least 25 years old below. Letter C, college graduate. Letter D, a commissioned officers, the active service or retired from AAP or PNP. Then, graduated course in concepts and methods in industrial security and security management. Good moral character. Good moral character means not having been convicted of any crime involving moral attitude and not suffering of any of the following disqualification. Number 1, dishonorable discharge from AFP PNP. Number 2, being mentally incompetent. Number 3, being physically unfit. Number 4, habitual alcoholic. Number 6, dummy of any foreigner and elective or appointed government officials and employees who may be called upon as account of the functions of their respective office. Organizational structure of PSA, CSP, and GSU. Number 1, 100 guards during the first year of operation. Number 2, 200 guards for minimum of succeeding year. Let's proceed to the establishment of main branch offices. Number 1, all agencies. All agencies maintain office and their registered addresses. Let's proceed to lesson 3.3. Uniform equipment and perception. The proper uniform of males in security management. Number 1 requirement uniform is headgear. Number 2 service shirt. Number 3 service trousers. Number 4 service belt. Number 5 footwear. Service uniform. There are 3 service uniform. Number 1, private security guard. Number 2, company security force. Number 3, government security unit. Number 2, field uniform. PSA, long sleeves and hoods. CSF, color is white. GSU, some with PSA except the color is white. Then number 1, piercing cup. Number 2, buttons. Number 3, shirt. Number 5, trousers. Let's proceed to the lesson 3.5, professional conduct and ethics. Professional conduct and ethics of security guards. Security personnel, also guided by their professions, conduct and ethics in their duties under Section 1.3, Rule number 8 of the RA 5487. Security guards has also agreed and uphold the principle makadiyos, makabayan at makatao. General orders. This is one performed after the 11 GOs of PNP. Ethical standard. Ethical standard means as a licensed PSA or CSF, it shall be its concern to share with other licensed agencies and company security forces the burden of responsibility in upholding the trust and the public certainly profession of all times. Let's proceed to the lesson 4.1, personnel security. Personnel security includes all the security measures designed to prevent unsuitable individuals or loyalty government. Scope and purpose. Ensure the prevention of unsuitable individuals or persons of doubtful loyalty to the government from gaining access to classified matter. Principle. Security must start from a given foundation basis, and this shall be referred to the principles of security. Control of personnel. Physical means can be partially control the access of restricted area that individual working in their area. There are two types of personnel classification identification. Letter A, personal recognition. It is a person's characteristics. Letter B, artificial recognition. Records and passwords. Visitors. Let's proceed to the visitors movement control. Proper methods of establishing the authority for admission for visitors. Number 1, you should logbook the visitors. Number 2, you take the photograph. Number 3, you must escort the visitors. Number 4, visitors entrance. Number 5, time travel. Number 6, access list. Let's proceed to the background investigation. Type of BI. Types of BI. There are two types of BI. Number 1, complete background investigation. Number 2, partial background investigation. Then let's proceed to the factors considered in background investigation. Number 1, loyalty. Number 2, integrity. Number 3, discretion. Number 4, moral. Physical security. The physical security, as earlier discussed, is the broadest branch of security, which is actually a system of barriers placed within potential intruders in the matters protected. It is concerned with the physical measures adopted to prevent unauthorized access to equipment, facilities, materials, and documents, and to safeguard them against sabotage, damage, and theft. It also encompasses protection of personnel from any criminal act. Let's proceed to the principles of physical security. In every establishment, physical measures are needed to deny unauthorized access or intrusion because of the following. Number 1, enemy agents must access. Acquisition of information is the ultimate result and the means and form in which the information is obtained. Number 2, there is no impenetrable barrier for unfriendly government or organization that are willing to devote enough time, money, personnel, material, and imagination in passing through barriers. Number 3, surreptitious and non-surreptitious entry. Surreptitious and non-surreptitious entry means the possibility of surreptitious entry is the greatest hazard from the standpoint of counterintelligence security because it's usually difficult to determine that the information has been compromised. Number 4, each installation is different. Since each installation is different, each will have different problems to overcome. The security procedures will not be adequate for all installations. Let's proceed to the barriers defined. Barriers defined means it is referred to any physical structure, whether natural or man-made, capable of restricting, deterring, delaying, or preventing illegal and unauthorized access to installation. Let's proceed to the two general types of physical security barriers. Number 1, natural barriers. Natural barriers means they are offered by nature which could obstruct or delay the passageway of potential intruders. This also referred to natural structures that serve as deterrents or obstructions to intruders, such as high cliff, canyon, deserts, or the bodies of water. Number 2, man-made barrier. These are structural constructions like fences, walls, gates, grills, bars, floors, roadblocks, or other physical means to deter or impede penetration. Letter D, specific type of physical security barriers. Number 1, natural barriers. Number 2, structural barrier. Number 3, human barrier. Number 4, animal barrier. Number 5, energy barrier. Let's proceed to the levels of physical security. Number 1, minimum security. Minimum security means a system designed to impede unauthorized external activity such as simple intrusion or armed attack. Number 2, low level of security. The low level security means a system designed to impede and detect some unauthorized external activity such as on a small retail store, storage, warehouse. Number 3, medium security. Medium security means is designed to impede and detect and access most external activity and some unauthorized external activity that range from simple shoplifting to conspiracy to commit sabotage. This includes the number 1, use of advanced intrusion alarm system. Letter B, establishment of perimeter and perimeters barriers. And letter C, use of an armed guard. Number 4, high level security. High level security designed to impede, detect, and assess most unauthorized and external and internal activities of certain prisons, defense contractors, pharmaceutical companies, and sophisticated electronic manufacturers. This includes the utilization of the following. Letter A, CCTV. CCTV means closed circuit television. Letter B, perimeter alarm barrier. Number 3, high security lighting. Letter D, highly trained armed guards. Letter E, controls design and coordination with the local law enforcement agencies. Number 5, their maximum security includes the application of the following. Letter A, sophisticated alarm system. Letter B, on-site response force perimeter barriers. So let's proceed to the concept of perimeter barrier. Perimeter barrier is a medium of structure which defines the physical limits of an installation or area to restrict or impede access thereto. It is any physical barrier used to supplement the protection of an inside or outside perimeter. Perimeter barrier also includes the utilization of security personnel. So let's proceed to the line of physical defense. Security managers and security personnel also consider the various lines of defense that could help delay or stop intruders. These are: number 1, first line includes all perimeter barrier. Number 2, second line includes all the building exterior, and third line includes those external control measures. Letter C, perimeter barrier openings. In determining the appropriate perimeter barriers, security managers should not overlook the necessity of monitoring perimeter opening that could be used by intruders. These openings are: 1, gates and doors should also have guards or lock as much as possible. Number 2, windows and similar openings should also be guarded, or grills should be installed so as not to be openings less than 18 feet above the ground. Roofs and ledges or than 14 feet directly and diagonally opposite uncontrolled windows and their walls. Fire escapes or other openings of 96 inches or larger should be grilled or have steel bar protections. Number 3, sidewalks, elevator are elevated parts of the land near the perimeter barrier that provides access to areas with the perimeter barriers and should be locked and guarded. Number 4, utilities opening such as sewers, air intakes, exhaust tunnels which penetrate the barriers and which have cross-section area of 96 square inches or more should protected by bars, grills, etc. Number 5, clear zones is an unobstructed area maintained on both sides of the perimeter barrier. A clear zone of 20 feet or more is desirable between the barrier and extension saggers and natural covers which may provide concealment assistance to the person seeking on the entry. Let's proceed to the types of perimeter barriers. There are 3 types of perimeter barriers. Number 1, fences. Number 2, building walls. Number 3, bodies of water. Let's proceed to the additional protective measure. Number 1, Top guard is an additional overhang of barbed wire placed on the vertical perimeter fences facing upward and outward with a 45-degree angle to the four strands of barbed wire spaced 6 inches apart. This will increase the protective height and prevent easy access. Number 2, guard control situations are normally provided at main perimeter entrance to secure areas located at out of doors and manned by guards on the full-time basis. Sentry stations should be near a perimeter for surveillance at the entrance. Number 3, towers or guard towers are the house-like structures above the perimeter barriers. It gives psychological effect to violators. Number 4, signs and notices or control signs should be erected where necessary in the management of unauthorized ingress and procedure accidentally entry. It includes entry prohibited in exclusive area signs. Let's proceed to the perimeter guards. Perimeter guards employed in augmenting the existing perimeter security or perimeter barriers of a certain establishment. There are two types of perimeter guards are. Number 1 is fixed post. Fixed post means security guards are assigned in a particular place of the compound to guard and watch the area surrounding it. Number 2, patrol or roving. Patrol or roving means in the system, the security guard is required to walk and go around regularly around the company premises. So, let's proceed to the basic concept of security or protective lighting. Protective lighting provides a means of continuing illumination during hours of darkness, a degree of protection that is maintained during daylight hours. This safeguards also has a considerable value as the deterrent to thieves and vandals and may make the job of the saboteur more difficult. It is an essential element of an integrated physical security program. The security must be reliable and designed with the overlapping illumination and avoid creating unprotected area in the event of individual light failure. It must be easy to maintain and must be secure it itself against attack. Poles should be with the barrier power lights and the switch box must be protected. Number 2, let's proceed to the basic requirement. Number 1, protective or security lighting needs at installation and facilities depend upon its situation in the areas to be protected. Number 2, protective lighting should not be used as a psychological deterrent only. Number 3, when such lighting provisions are impractical, additional security post patrol, sentry dog patrols, or other security means will be necessary. Number 4, protective lighting may be desirable for their sensitive areas or structure within the perimeter which are under specific observations. Letter C. Let's proceed to the characteristics of protective lightnings. Using protective lightings expensive in its additional cost to the company or establishment. Therefore, consider the following in planning to protective lighting systems. Number 1, protective lighting usually requires the less intensity than working light except for identification and inspection and at authorized portals in all emergency. Number 2, lightnings needed may vary because each area of an installation or facility presents its particular problem or based on the physical layout, terrain, atmospheric and climatic conditions and the protective requirements. Number 3, the data available from the manufacturers of lighting equipment which will assist in designing a lighting system. Letter D, protective lighting's significance to security forces. When properly employed, protective lightings offer the following. Number 1, reduction of the need for security forces. Number 2, personal protection for forces by reducing the advantages of concealment and surprise for the determined intruder. Number 3, relieve security forces could be used to better advantage elsewhere. E. Let's proceed to the protective lighting principles or technique. Number 1, security lighting should enable to guard to observe clearly the activities around the inside the premises within this jurisdiction. Number 2, in planning, high contrast between intruder and background should be provided. When contrast is poor, increase the intensity will improve guards' ability to see. Number 3, lighting boundaries and approaches as well as the areas and structure is useful to discourage unauthorized entries and reveal identity of person. Number 4, good lighting should reveal well bordering areas glaring to intruders and adequate for the guard to observe his position. Number 5, effective lighting should deter or discourage attempts to enter the premises and make detention more likely if entry is attempted. Number 6, if lighting at night cannot be provided due to impracticability, other means of protection have to be made like additional guard posts or control fences and alarms. Lighting should not be used alone. It should be used with the other measures such as fixed security posts or patrols, fences, and alarms. Number 8, in addition to seeing long distances, security forces must be able to see low contrast such as indistinct outlines of silhouettes and must be able to spot an overdose may be exposed to view only for few seconds. Types of security lighting. Number 1, stationary luminary conscious. Most of the type consisting of services fixed luminous to flood to a given area consisting overlap. It may be either number 1, glare protection type. Number 2, controlled lighting. Number 2, standby lighting. Consists of stationary or portable manually operated searchlights which may be lighted continuously during hours of darkness or only be needed. Number 3, movable lighting. Movable lighting means it is a consists of stationary or portable manually operated searchlights which be lighted continuously during hours of darkness or be needed. Number 4, emergency lighting. Emergency lighting means a standby lighting which can be utilized in the event of electrical failure, either due to local equipment or commercial power failure. So, let's proceed to the general types of lighting sources. Number 1, incandescent lamp. Number 2, mercury lamps. Number 3, metal halide. Fluorescent lamp, high pressure sodium vapor, low pressure sodium vapor, quartz lamp. Then let's proceed to the types of lighting equipment. Number 1, floodlights are used for outer security lighting, including the illumination of boundaries, fences, and buildings. Number 2, street lights produce diffuse light rather than directional beam. They are widely used in parking areas. Number 3, searchlights are incandescent lights that provide a type of crime. related lighting system. So, let's proceed to the chapter 2, the fire alarm system. Fire alarm system means a fire alarm system as a number of devices working together to detect and warn people through visual and audio appliances when smoke, fire, carbon monoxide, or other emergencies are present. These alarms may be activated automatically from smoke detectors and heat detectors, or may also be activated via manual fire alarm activation devices such as manual call points or pole stations. Alarms can be either motorized bells or wall-mountable sounders or horns. They can also be speaker strobes, which sound an alarm, followed by a voice evacuation message which warns people inside the building not used to the elevators. Fire alarm sounders can be set to certain frequencies and different tones including low, medium, and high depending on the country and manufacturer of the device. Most fire alarm systems in Europe sounds like the sirens with alternating frequencies. Fire alarm electronic devices are known as horns in the continuous or set to different codes. Fire alarm warning devices can also be set to different volume levels. Install the fire alarms and automatic fire extinguisher to avert possible occurrences of fire. Letter B, private farm protection. So, excuse me. So let's proceed to the private fire protection system. Private companies and business establishments install fire alarms and automatic fire extinguisher to avert possible occurrence of fire. Number 1, automatic sprinkling system. Number 2, fire pumps. Number 3, standpipes. Number 4, fire hydrant. Number 5, portable hand extinguishers. Number 6, alarm system. So let's proceed to the fire detection system. Designed to discover fires early in their development when time will still be available for the safe evacuation of occupants. Early detection also plays a significant role in protecting the safety of emergency response personnel. Property loss can be reduced and downtime for the operation minimized through early detection because control efforts are started while the fire is still small. Most alarm systems provide information to emergency responders on the location of the fire, speeding the process of fire control. To be useful, detectors must be coupled with alarms. Alarm systems provide notice to the least the building occupants and usually transmit a signal to a stopper monitoring stations either or offsite. In some cases, alarms may go directly to the fire department, although in most locations this is no longer typically approached. So let's proceed to the these systems have numerous advantages as discussed above. The one major limitation is that they do nothing to contain or control the fire. Suppression systems such as automatic sprinklers act to control the fire. They also provide notification that they are operating so they can fill the role of the heat detection based system. It connected to notification appliances throughout the building. They will not, however, operate as quickly as the smoke detection system. This is why facilities where rapid notice is essential, even when equipped with the sprinklers, still need detection and alarm system. So, let's proceed to the smoke detectors. A smoke detector is a device that can sense smoke typically as an indicator of fire. So, yun po ang ibig sabihin ng smoke detectors. Then, commercial smoke detectors issue a signal to a fire alarm control panel as a part of alarm system, while household smoke detector, also known as smoke alarms, generally issue an audible visual alarm from the detector itself. Several detectors, multiple detectors in that. So, let's proceed to the protective locks and key controls of protective cabinet. A. The basic concept of protective locks and key control. The best defense against lock picking and making of key by impression is the installation of special pick resistant, impression resistant lock cylinders. Generally speaking, locks are the cheapest security investment that can be made. Locking device is as simply as the mechanism that extends the door window into a wall, hold them. So let's proceed to the definition of terminologies. Lock. A mechanical, electrical, hydraulic, or electronic device to prevent entry to a building room, container, or hiding place, and to prevent removal or items without consent of the owner. Key. Key is a usually metal instrument by which the bolt of a lock is turned. So, let's proceed to the types of locks. The type of lock to be used is usually influenced by the design of the establishment as well as critically of the establishment nature and operation. Security of protective locks could be classified into the following four general groups. Number 1, ward lock. Number 2, disc tumbler lock. Number 3, lever tumbler lock. Number 4, pin tumbler lock. And there are 5 other types of locks. Number 1 is combination locks. Number 2, code operated locks. Number 3, electromagnetic locks. Number 4, card operated locks. Then, let's proceed to the key control. Key control means it refers to the various methods for making sure that certain keys are only used by unauthorized people. This is especially important for master key systems with many users. A system of key control includes strategies for keeping track of which keys are carried by which people, as well as strategies to prevent people from giving away copies from the keys of unauthorized users. That's all, ma'am.